Hey, this is Danielle, and today I'm going to show you how I'm managing some bullish trades in Meta. So let's go ahead and look at the chart. First of all, I'll tell you that I got long because of a couple reasons. Number one, obviously, this is a really bullish trend. This is a relative strength name. It's been trading really well this year. It also has a lot of liquidity in the options market. And when you look at the way that it gapped up, post earnings, we have a breakaway gap, and then we had another setup. So, what was that setup? Well, we had a combination of a squeeze on a 195-minute chart plus some lower time frame squeezes. There was a 15-minute squeeze here. Let's look at the 30-minute chart. We had some 30-minute squeezes. Let's look at the 78-minute chart. We had a 78-minute squeeze. So essentially what we had in this name was we had relative strength, a trend, a recent earnings report that did really well. And then we also have the fact that there's just a lot of attention surrounding this stock, which can typically make it go higher. So I traded it for all of those reasons. Looking at it now, I'm actually a little sad I didn't trade it a little heavier, but that's okay. This is what I got on Meta for today, and these are the trades I'm going to show you how to manage. So I had gotten into this trade and I was targeting $500 a share. Why was I targeting $500? Well, it's a key psychological value. If we look at these lower time frame charts, especially this one right here with the bigger setup, it's kind of hard to throw a fib level on a chart like this because you can see that there was a big gap and there's not really a good pullback to use, but this is the one that I was using to determine a price target. So whenever I'm taking profits, I'm always looking at, where's the key psychological value, where's the high open interest, and where's the Fibonacci target zone, okay? So in this one, if you throw this Fibonacci level on, you'll see that the 1272 was at 495 and the 1618 was at 505. So you'll notice that right in the middle of those two numbers is going to be 500. So whenever I'm trading options, I'm going to use those key psychological values because those are the values that the market generally goes directly towards, and it'll stick around those zones. So $500 was my target. I went ahead and I did this trade earlier this week. And when I was placing it, I wasn't really sure which expiration series I should use. People ask me this all the time. They say, well, how do you know which expiration series to use? The truth of the matter is that you can look at the setup and you can say, hey, you know what? This is likely to have a greater than expected move. I know that this is what the options market is pricing in as far as the move that is expected. Okay. So you have to make your best estimated guess. When I was looking at this, I basically had a choice between, okay, I can choose this Friday and it might get there, which is today, by the way. It might get there in time, but if it doesn't, my trades aren't going to work and I'm going to lose money. So in that instance, I gave it one more week because in the options market, it's generally better to give yourself the gift of time. Now, what will happen is when you do that and you give yourself more time. So in this instance, you can see that, today Meta is trading at 503.33. If you look at the options that are expiring today, you can see that there's a ton of high open interest at this $500 strike. So, that's why I put a price target there, but I used the series for the next week, which is going to be this one right here. There's also a ton of open interest at this zone. Okay. So, by the time it got to, I would say probably Thursday, I was looking at this and thinking, oh man, should I just add another butterfly for, this week's expiration? I probably should have added to this trade because I did it really small just to kind of get in. And then when the market gapped up, it took off on me. So I had a small position on it. If you look at the trades that I had, I layered this trade. So basically I had a put credit spread. This was a put credit spread that I put on when the ticker was trading at 485. So I sold the 485 put and I bought the 480 put for protection. I got into that for a credit of $2.12. And now this is going for about 59 cents. So if we look at, what percentage gain I'm getting on that, it's going to be pretty decent as far as theta decay for just a couple days. And, I'm at this position now where I can say, all right, well, do I want to just go ahead and buy it back and close out the trade? Because you can see there's still 7 days left on it. And that's why there's still 59 cents left in the trade. Or do I want to hold it for another week and see if I can get more theta decay, and that 59 cents will decay even further, and then maybe I can make $200 instead of 150. That's always a choice. When you're trying to decide what to do, the best thing that you can do is you can just look at the expected move. So the expected move is $16. So you just have to think to yourself, okay, if I am trying to make a 100% profit on this trade, is it possible that that can happen by next week? Well, yeah, it's possible because Meta is trading, almost $20 away from your short strike. So definitely possible. It has a $16 expected move. And that expected move, the problem with that is that if it pulls back, the profit that you have is going to go away. So as I've gotten older, as I've gotten more cautious, I tend to just take good percentage gains when I have them instead of, trying to squeeze out every last drop, because what can happen is, you have a good trade with a good percentage gain, and then suddenly the market pulls back on Monday or Tuesday, and now you have a break even, or even worse, a loss. So I tend to like to just take my profits. There's no perfect time to get out. I'm just trying to capture a good portion of the move. Now, what about the butterfly? So I layered the butterfly with the put credit spread. This butterfly's up about 50%. Another thing that people will ask me all the time with the butterflies is, oh my gosh, well, what do you do if the ticker trades through the center strike of the fly? Well, what you can see right now is that's exactly what's happening. Meta's at 503.74. The center strike of my fly is at $500, but I'm still up 50% on this trade. So, it's not one of these emergencies where it goes through the center strike and you immediately have to close it, but you do want to close it, because what will happen is you will start losing the profits that you have. So you can see right here, you have a 485 call. This 485 call was originally worth $10.44. Well, now it's worth $20.80. Okay. So that's gone up a lot in value. Well, with the butterfly, what you want is you want the center strike to decay. You want it to stay out of the money. You're selling these 500 calls, and when I sold them for 452. Okay, well, now they're going for 987. That's why I'm only making 50% on the butterfly. So if I'm looking at this and saying, okay, these ones are going for me, these ones are going against me, and these ones are going for me, and overall I'm making 50%, the ticker's through my center strike, it still has a $16 expected move. What are the options? Like what could happen with this next week if I keep holding it? Well, it could definitely still keep going higher. So yes, it's at targets, but it could keep going higher another 10, 15 bucks. If that happens, I'm not just going to lose the $3 that I put into the trade. I'm also going to lose the $1.50 that I'm making. So I don't really like that. It's Friday. I like to take profits. I like to get out of trades when they meet my price targets. My price target's 500 bucks. So I'm just going to close this butterfly. Now, people will look at it and they'll say, well, you're not getting, 100%, 200%, 300%. Who cares? Take the money. Go for it. It's not one of these things where like you have to get 100 or 200%. I used to trade like that, and it was a lot of fun. People find it very entertaining. But what's not entertaining is it's not entertaining to have a 50% winner and try to be greedy about it, and then suddenly now you have a max loss. So that's happened to me more times than I care to admit. So now I am much more conservative. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. To close this butterfly, it's very simple. All you do is you just right click on it, create closing order, and you're going to sell the butterfly. I do not want to leg out of the fly. I don't want to close half of it. I don't want to, just buy back the center strike. I don't want to do anything like that. I just want to get out of my trade, and I just want to take my money. People ask me all the time, why don't you buy back the short strike? Well, I'll tell you why. because that short strike is going for $9.87 for each one. Okay. So I'd have to spend almost $2,000 to buy back that short strike. And here's the thing, that means that the long calls have to go up enough to make that purchase worth it. And the times where that has happened, really, really small. So I never do that. I did it a few times when there were crazy short squeezes on, Beyond Meat or something like that. But for something like Meta, I don't want to buy it back. The best thing to do if you want to keep trading it is just to add another fly. So what I could do here is I could add, for example, another put credit spread for next week. So I could add like a 500, 497.50. I could add a 500, 495. Those credits aren't going to be that great, to be honest. So let me see. Maybe I can get like an unbalanced fly. But after I get out of this butterfly, what I could do is just add another butterfly to the upside. I could add like a 500, 515, 530. I could add a maybe 520. I think 515 would probably be a little bit safer. But the other thing to do is just, take your profits and be happy with it. So I wish I would have traded this one a little bit bigger, but it's a good trade. I'm working on just making $300 a day. Try to make $300 a day. If you can make $300 a day, you're doing pretty good. So thank you for joining me for this video. Let me know if you have any video requests. Oh, okay, I'm out. And since the market's still going pretty strong here, I still have another 2 hours. I'm actually just going to wait on this one and I'm going to close it towards the end of the day. But I'm going to keep that on for right now. Anyways, thanks for all the comments below the video. If you have any helpful feedback, just let me know. Other than that, I hope you subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next one.